The federal government has planned to stop the use of chemical fertilizers in agriculture. This is to ensure the production of healthy foods. Now, this was made known by the Minister of Agriculture, Audu Ogbe, while inspecting the first organic banana plantation by Indian company Contech Global Agro Limited in Kwali. Mr. Ogbe says the aim is to reduce dangerous elements from foods and damages in the soil through the application of fertilizers. The Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria has increased its contractor support fund by $2.4 billion. The aim is to boost the financial capacity of vendors and suppliers in the country's oil and gas industry. The oil major disclosed that with the latest move, the fund size had risen to $2.4 billion. The Director of Business Relations, SPDC, Bashir Bello, says this is a continuous effort by the SPDC and its joint venture partners, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Total, and Ajip, to enhance Nigerian content and local participation in the nation's oil and gas value chain. The fund will support contractors to finance projects executed for shell companies in Nigeria in line with the Nigerian Content Act. United States sportwear maker Nike has been fined with a $14.1 million for blocking cross-border sales of soccer merchandise of some of Europe's best-known clubs. The European Commission said Nike's illegal practices occurred between 2004 to 2017. The illegal deal related to licensed merchandise for FC Barcelona, Manchester United, Juventus, Inter Milan, AS Roma, and the French Football Federation. The sanction came after a 2-year investigation triggered by a sector inquiry into e-commerce in the 28-country bloc. Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Services, Babatunde Fowler, says he is not pushing for increase in value-added tax, but seeking for a reduction in companies' income tax for small businesses to improve compliance. Fowler was speaking in Lagos on the sidelines of the presentation of the Nigerian Tax Outlook for 2019. We have details in this report.
Recent reports from the Federal Inland Revenue shows that tax collection has increased significantly. In 2016, the FIRS collected 3.3 trillion naira, while 4.02 trillion naira in 2017 and 5.3 trillion naira in 2018, and this is the highest in Nigeria's history. At the 2019 Nigeria Tax Outlook, the FIRS boss Babatunde Fowler used the opportunity to react to issues surrounding increase in VAT.
Government has not approved an increase. However, although I was misquoted, I personally believe that there should be an increase. Once we can get maybe even an 80% level of compliance within the tax net, there is no reason why we should be charging the lowest VAT in the world. Our nationals, our brothers and sisters, cross over to Ghana, go to South Africa, go to London, and pay double the VAT that we're charging.
He speaks further on how the government agency can generate more funds without impacting negatively on the masses.
Customs last year crossed the 1 trillion mark. JAM collected the highest in the history of Nigeria from JAM. FIRS collected the highest, increased by over 1.2 trillion. So certainly, there's an increase from the 6%. I believe the Bureau of Statistics will eventually come out and tell us the new percentage of tax revenue to GDP, but there's still room for improvement.
Coordinator of the Nigerian Taxpayers Hub, Elizabeth Aluko, speaks on what prompted the Nigerian Tax Outlook 2019.
What we intend to achieve with the Nigerian Tax Outlook basically was to provide a reliable information, a projection, an insight guideline for the business leaders, basically the corporate taxpayers, what to look out for, the threats, the opportunities that lies, knowing fully well that the economy is very fragile, and also looking at the FIRS target of 8 trillion if I'm correct, and it means that there's going to be a whole lot of burden and on the already stressed businesses that we have in Nigeria today.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service says the target for 2019 is 8 trillion naira, and this will be achieved by further deployment of ICT to enable taxpayers pay from anywhere in the world at any time.